Morning guys, so a beautiful sunrise here on the south coast. I've come out this morning early with a very specific foraging objective, which is to find the herbs I need to make the incredible springtime vitality tonic. This is a remedy I originally learnt about in the Spanish Pyrenees, and having researched it, I can see why it's so famous, because the herbs that make up this remedy are clinically proven to help detoxify the body, increase energy, increase vitality, increase immunity, just general get up and go. So it's an incredible remedy to use. Just down here there's a beautiful little woods. I know there's loads of herbs growing there, so we're going to go down there, get the herbs, and then head back to the dispensary and I'll show you how to make it. It's super easy, super quick. So I've just got down to the beautiful little woods here and found an absolute abundance of the herbs I need. The beauty of this remedy is that they're herbs that are super easy to find. They're probably growing in your garden and you're probably well aware of them. What are they? They are the humble dandelion, the common stinging nettle, and the incredible cleavers, often called sticky weed. These herbs have profound health-giving medicinal properties, so let's head back to the dispensary. I'll go through the medicinal properties in more detail and show you how to make this must-have foraged home herbal remedy. We've got the remedy from last week, the dandelion skin oil. That's macerating nicely. Another few days, it'll be ready to go. If you haven't made that, do check out last week's video. So now we've got our handful, well, we've got more, but here we've got our handful of fresh cleavers, we've got our handful of fresh dandelions, and we've got a handful of fresh stinging nettles. Why these three herbs? Well, if we think about energy, you know, one of the things we all aspire to, you know, is feeling young, youthful, vibrant, with loads of energy. It makes every facet of daily life easier and better. And these three herbs individually are proven to help increase energy, but you combine them together and you get this just profound vitality tonic. This recipe actually comes from the Pyrenees region, the Spanish Pyrenees. I learned about this there. So individually, dandelions are one of the most powerful liver supporting detoxifying herbs in the world, and detoxification is a really important part of energy production. If our body is overly toxic, if the liver is overburdened, then it saps the energy out of us. The body has to divert more energy to clearing the toxins, which can leave us feeling fatigued and tired and lethargic and just a bit sluggish. Nettles. You know, the humble stinging nettle is a nutritive herb, which means it is it's essentially one of nature's most powerful natural multivitamins and multi-minerals. The constituent parts, the makeup of nettles, are a who's who of health. They are loaded with vitamins like vitamin E, vitamin A, vitamin C, minerals like potassium, magnesium, manganese, copper, all of which are essential for the proper functioning of our cells. You know, if we're to experience really robust health, energy, vitality, we need every cell in our body to be experiencing the same traits. And to do that, they need nutrients, and they need lots of them. And by using nettles regularly, like in this tonic, in lots of other remedies, in subsequent episodes, we're going to explore some culinary uses for nettles. But by adding it in here and using it regularly, we're just topping up these energy providing nutrients. And then lastly, cleavers, one of my favorite herbs. And the reason it's so important is that it's the most powerful lymphatic tonic herb in the world. And our lymph is integral to the way our body works. It's integral to our immune status and our immune function. And we can think of it a bit like our car. Regularly changing the oil in our car is essential for maximizing its lifespan, the health of the engine, the efficiency of the engine. That's what lymph does. If our lymph becomes sluggish or stagnant or toxic, it sucks the life out of us. We can think of lymph as kind of being the sap of life. So by using lymphatic tonic herbs like cleavers, it helps refresh, regenerate, rejuvenate the lymph, and that will always leave us feeling bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, energized. So individually, all three of these herbs are clinically indicated for increasing vitality, immunity, strength, vigor. But like I said, you combine them, you're getting this synergistic response. In herbal medicine, it's called herbal alchemy, whereby combining different herbs, you get an exponential gain that isn't found in any one of them, but only through combining them. And this one is so easy to make. So all you need is a handful of each of your herbs, a kilner jar, and a high strength alcohol like vodka or brandy. And all you need to do is put your one handful of each, so your handful of dandelions, your handful of cleavers, and you're careful not to get stung, your handful of nettles into the jar, and then take your, I'm using vodka just because it's what I had. You could buy brandy, you couldn't, it doesn't really matter, and just fill that all the way kind of to the top, and then just push the herbs down. Obviously I'm using quite a big kilner jar here. You could use a smaller kilner jar, which means you'd only use less alcohol, which makes it cheaper as such. And then there's a spare dandelion leaf there, put that in. And then once that's in, you just need to really aggravate it. You need to shake it up because it's fundamental that all of the herbs are saturated, covered in the alcohol, because the alcohol is the preservative, but it's also the extractor. It's the alcohol that extracts all of the healing compounds, the vitamins, the minerals, the nutrients found within the herbs. Once this tincture is ready, if you take the liquid to the lab and you analyze it, essentially it's a chemical footprint of the herbs. It contains the same nutrients, the same health-giving properties. So that is now macerating. And what's really important is that every day you invert it. Every day you just give it a really good shake and you invert it, and you make sure that the herbs are below the top level of the alcohol. You want to make sure the herbs are always covered by the alcohol. I need a bit more actually. I need to add another couple of inches, which I'll do once I get the next bottle. You want to make sure that all of the herbs are covered in the alcohol. One, because it's going to make sure you're extracting maximum goodness, and two, it's going to stop the herbs going off. It's going to stop them kind of rotting or putrefying. So every day, just give that a shake, give it a quick inversion, leave it in a dark cupboard for anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks. The longer you leave it, the stronger it will become. So if you want it more quickly, you do it today or tomorrow, it'll be ready in 2 weeks, but the longer you can leave it, the better. So imagine now we fast forward 2, 3, 4 weeks. All you have to do then is get a separate clean, dry kilner jar and just strain that through a sieve, colander, a cheesecloth, to extract the herbs. You can throw those in the compost bin, and then what you'll be left with is, in this case, what's this? A litre. So you'll be left with a litre of this vitality tonic that is made up of all of the incredibly health-giving, health-boosting, energizing, strengthening compounds found within the herbs. If you seal that in an airtight jar, stick it in your apothecary or your cupboard, and it will last for easily a year. Probably I've got tinctures here that are over 2 years old, because they have an incredibly long lifespan. And you can take just 1 teaspoon a day, 1 to 2 teaspoons a day on an ongoing basis as a general health tonic, as a kind of a multivitamin, multi-mineral. Or if you're going through a more pronounced period of your life where maybe you're feeling tired or a little bit more fatigued or just not bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, we could have 1 teaspoon 3 times a day. And I've used this myself for years. I've used it in hundreds and hundreds of patients over the years, and the feedback is universally brilliant. It works incredibly well. So do have a go at making that. So once that's been strained, it's another forage remedy to go into our home pharmacy that we can call upon. Any questions about how to make it, do let me know in the comments. Okay, to stay up to date with when these videos come out, please do subscribe to the channel so you get regular updates. Like I say, we'll be releasing a new video every week all the way through the foraging season, so that at the end of this process you will have a herbal pharmacy at home that you can call upon to optimize the health of your household and to treat common household ailments. This is a must-have. Any questions, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.